My name is Nancy Wolf. I found Dr. Handoo through my primary care physician. I struggled with recovering from meningitis and encephalitis, and also from depression in of itself, and worse depression based off of working on recovering from what had happened with my brain and where I was at. I wasn't showering. I was sleeping about 18 to 20 hours a day. I spent a year plus recovering from spinal meningitis and encephalitis that kept me in the hospital for almost a month. I was on antibiotics for almost 8 months. I had to learn how to eat again, walk again. I thought the microwave was the computer, just all different kinds of things like that. The longer I was in recovery after I got home, couldn't drive, zero independence. My depression, which I was already suffering from, kept getting worse and worse and worse. They had me on 8 different headache medicines, and none of them worked with the encephalitis headache. None of the cocktails of medicine worked either, and I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about anything I used to do. I got to where I wouldn't even change my clothes for 6, 7, 8 days in a row. I stopped watching my favorite TV shows. I stopped reading, stopped writing. I heard about TMS through my primary doctor. It was so heavily suggested to me. Impacts that TMS has had on my life have been absolutely amazing. When I first started TMS, because of my prefrontal cortex issues and my right frontal lobe issues, I was also diagnosed with aphasia and dysphagia, which is language and not being able to grasp words. And as anybody listening to this can attest to right now, I'm speaking very well. When I first started the deep TMS treatments, I would walk into the office, I was stuttering. It would take me 20 to 30 seconds to pull a word out, and often it would be the wrong word. I've had 1 headache in the last 30 days and 2 that have just been on the fringe, meaning they tried to become a headache, but they didn't. I am more positive. I don't worry about everything being perfect. I just am good that I'm waking up, and I'm waking up, I'm getting dressed, I go outside and sit on my back porch and drink coffee, and I'm just living life one day at a time, and it's brought real joy into my life, which I did not have before. So I started to notice a difference from the treatments, probably pretty short of about 5 or 6 treatments in, my talking started getting better, and by the 9th treatment, my headaches were better. There was a lot of things that TMS was doing for me, or the deep TMS was doing for me, that didn't have anything to do with depression. It had to do with helping me recover from my meningitis and encephalitis illnesses that had put such a damper on my life. And then as those things got better, it started helping more and more with the depression. So probably around the 5th or 6th treatment, but then really by about maybe the 10th treatment, I really started noticing a big difference. So the treatments they're in a very, very comfortable setting with TV and any kind of streaming thing you want, and the chair is very comfortable. And after they get the apparatus on your head, there's a collar that can go around your neck, which helped me immensely. But it was amazing how it didn't hurt. It never hurt. It never gave me any adverse reactions at all. My very first appointment with him was a consult, an intake appointment through Zoom. And he is such a passionate and caring and all-in doc, period. No holds barred. And he's just an amazing, kind, generous person. Stephanie and the rest of the staff, I had most of my deep TMS treatments with Stephanie. I have never been treated kinder by people. And the office staff, when I first started coming in, I would ask the same questions over and over again at the front counter and going back. And I was never made to feel like I was less than, like I was inferior. She started being able to tell when I could hit my milestones, and she would go get Dr. Handoo, and he'd come down and talk to me during the appointment, and it's been one of the best medical experiences I've ever had in my life. If I was going to close with one last thing, I would want people to know that, and I can say this with quite a bit of clarity, it really didn't matter that I was 60 years old when I started Deep TMS, and the effects that it had on my life, the positive effects it had on my life, besides just helping with the things that they said that it would help with, everybody should do it. If I could climb a ladder and get on the roof, I would shout it from the rooftops that Dr. Handoo, staff, and this treatment of Deep TMS can change your life. And why are you hesitating?